Hey everybody, Fearsomebeaver here with another Call of Duty gameplay, and I'll be talking about my serial killer. This is a pistol game. I'd never done one. I watched somebody's video earlier today and I decided to try it myself, so I'm doing some Domination, I believe, with the pistol, and it's really poor. And then later in the night I saw another one of my subs, Totally Protocol, and he was doing it, so I guess pistols are the thing, and I probably shouldn't do it anymore. But I'll leave a link to both of them in the description. Please go check them out. Great channels, good guys, so please do that. But I guess right now we'll just continue with the story at hand, and that is the serial killer. So last left it off where he had his first visit, and he said that he'd keep our place in mind, and he was freaky. Well, about a month later, he came out again, and he wanted to fill out an application for one bedroom. So we talked a while. This time he didn't creep me out as much. He seemed like a pretty decent guy. He was less shady, less weird. He had a good job at a local hospital. He made really good money. He seemed pretty even-tempered, very easy to talk to. So, you know, it was good. So after a while, I just figured I probably overreacted, and he isn't as bad as I thought he is, and I was probably being like a real dick. So we talked about it, and he got approved, and we decided to schedule a date and when he wanted to move in. And he said he wasn't sure when he wanted to move in, but he'd give me a call in a couple weeks and let me know. Which was fine. We had tons of apartment move-ins. I think we had 14 that month, which was huge. So we were really crammed, so if he wanted to take his time, that was fine. But he called me on probably mid-May and said that he wanted to move in June 7th. You might ask, how do I know that? Well, I do, because I wrote all this down back when it happened, and kept a journal of it. And also I was leaving for Vegas that year on June 6th. I remember that vividly, because who can ever forget Vegas trips? Well, you forget most of it while you're there, but you remember going and all that. Anyway, so I said, you know, I'm leaving, so you need to sign before the 3rd of June, and then you can come back on the 6th and get the keys from my coworker, who doesn't do lease signings and such. And he's like, fine. And so he scheduled the appointment, let me look here, May 24th. No, May 31st. He made the appointment for May 31st at 6:30. So on May 24th he shows up, and he comes in, says hi, and he sits down, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, hey, what can I do for you? And he's like, well, I'm and he gets kind of like angry, and he's like, I'm here to sign my lease. And I just discussed with him that, you know, that was supposed to be next week at 6:30, and he's like, oh, okay, sorry. And then he just sits there, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, and he's like, so how you doing? You married? Oh, how long you been married? Oh, how's your family, and what have I been up to lately aside from, you know, my job stuff? And I'm like, dude, really? You are a serial killer. Now you're trying to figure out my whole personal life and everything. So I wasn't feeling too comfortable with that, so I tried to act like I was busy, and he finally took the hint and said goodbye and see you next week. And then Tuesday came around, and pretty much like clockwork, 6:30 on the nose, he came in. We did the lease. The lease signing usually takes about an hour and 15 minutes, and we were all done. And he's just sitting there. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes, is it possible if I can just move in? I got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Can I move in during that weekend? You know, instead of moving in on Tuesday, because it's just really hard. And, you know, I got the weekend off, so it'd be great if I had those extra days. I'll pay you for the extra days. And I said, well, you don't need to pay me for the extra days, but I have to talk to the maintenance man and see if we can get it ready. I mean, it's scheduled for the 7th, so we schedule everything to be done so that it's done on the 6th, and you can move in on the 7th. So I'll have to talk to him, and he's not around right now, so I'll call you tomorrow. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he just sits there. And I'm like, okay, I got a 7:30 appointment coming. He's like, oh, okay, all right. So he finally left. So I called the next day. I called the maintenance man, and he said that he was in the middle of something that morning. He'd call me right back about it. And he forgot about it, and I pretty much forgot about it and didn't call him back. And then I got a call from the serial killer at about 10 minutes before closing, and he wondered if I was supposed to call him back with an answer. Where was I? And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me call you back in 2 minutes. So I call my the maintenance man, and he says, nope, not possible. He goes, they cleaned the carpets that afternoon, so he can't get in for another 24 hours, and he still needs to paint the bathroom and the kitchen, and he had to repair a wall in the bedroom from the previous tenant, and the cleaning people are coming in on the evening of the 6th, which is Monday, to do all the cleaning before his scheduled move-in date of the 7th. So obviously moving in on the 3rd would not work. So sounds reasonable to me. Makes sense. He had all this other, like I said, 14 other move-ins going on. So he was pretty busy. So he couldn't just, it's not like he didn't have anything else to do and he could just do it. But he just didn't have the time. So I figured, well, the guy's pretty mellow. I'll just explain the deal and hopefully it'll be all right. Holy crap. The best way to explain it is he became like a monster. His voice changed, his demeanor changed, everything about him changed, and he became like this super aggressive, angry guy. I mean, he's always like, hey Steve, how you doing, what's going on? And then I'm like, I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. I explain the situation. He's like, what do you mean? This just screws everything up for me. I cannot believe you're doing this to me. I need, I got the whole weekend off, and I gotta work Tuesday, and now I gotta take Tuesday off, and this is bullshit, and how can you do this to me? And I'm like, whoa. Okay, one, I already had a bad day, so I got really pissed off, and plus I'm generally angry to begin with. And I said, listen, hold up. One, you told us you wanted to move in on the 7th, so we have everything scheduled for that. Two, you didn't tell me this until like last night at 7:30, like 20 minutes after you signed your lease to move in on the 7th. You should have called us ahead of time. You should have talked to me before the lease. You should have, I don't know if we would have been able to change anything yesterday, but you could have given me more notice, so you shouldn't be too surprised, And, we got 14 other move-ins, blah, blah, blah. This is bullshit, and I can't believe you're doing this, and you're screwing me over, and what the hell is this all about? And, like, we're being inconsiderate and all this stuff, and I said, listen, relax. I go, here's the deal. I'll see if I can get you... I can get you into your storage unit in the basement. I can work on that, and then you can put stuff in there on the weekend, and then when you come in Tuesday, it's already here, and you just start moving it upstairs. That's probably the best I can do. And he's like, that doesn't help me. You need to get me 2 storage units. I'm like, everybody only gets 1. There's only 1 per, I have 132 apartments, 132 storage units. What can I do for you? He's like, oh, screw you, and blah, 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 and this is bullshit, and I can't believe this. You're screwing me over. You're ruining my weekend, and all this. And I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go. This is the best I can do. Your apartment's not going to be ready to the 7th. You should have told me. You can use the storage unit. You can come in, on Friday and pick up a key for the storage unit, and that's it. But after that, I don't know. He's like, well, okay, so I can move in on the 7th. What time on the 7th? I don't know. 4 a.m. Whatever you want to do. Just Monday, they're going to be there taking care of everything else. So you just need to deal with that. And he's like, rah, and I mean, he was just... if you've seen the Dexter with John Lithgow, John Lithgow is, he plays this nice, calm self, and then when he, goes psycho, he's like this huge, scary monster guy, and this guy sounded just like that. It's not just being angry and yelling. His whole, you could just feel it. the aggression that came out of this guy was just amazingly just vivid and visceral, and it was like it did kind of scare me that day. So that's where we'll leave it on this one. I'm sorry, we're gonna trudge through this as best we can. I could probably talk about the next spot, but I don't have that much time left, and I don't want to leave it on too big of a cliffhanger. But this is where the story is going to start getting really crazy, and it's going to go in a whole bunch of different directions, and it's going to get a little more interesting. Well, it's going to get a lot more interesting. But again, I think thanks for listening. Let all your friends know to, hear the crazy serial killer guy's story. Because, I mean, we're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. But I hope you enjoyed the awesome, oh, look at me at the bottom there. Awesome gameplay. I mean, look at that. I got to run it better. I was watching Totally Protocols, and I might try it again for the next video, maybe. Running it with some different attachments. I'm not very good I'm not fast on the trigger, and I'm not good at strafing and shooting at the same time, and I think you need to be able to do that with this gun, with a pistol of any kind. But maybe I'll try it again, maybe not. Maybe my next one I'll do something else I don't do a lot of, and that's sniping. Does that sound good to you? Good, because that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll leave you to watch the rest of this video and leave you on that, leave you wanting more, I guess, as they say. So thanks for watching. Like it if you liked it, favorite if you think it's the best thing in the whole wide world, which I don't even think it is. Please subscribe if you haven't already for more gameplay and more fun stories, because I did find my journal and I got more of these stories that will just, if you like stories about people and the weird shit they do, I got stories for it, lots of them. But thanks for watching, and just enjoy watching the final few minutes, and have a cookie if you got one, because I don't have a cookie, I have animal crackers. I stole my son's animal crackers, but he's asleep, he doesn't have to know about it, right? Right, alright. Thanks, see you guys.
Oh, I could have found him killed. He's just sitting right in front of me with the sniper. I have my pistol out.
Nice work. RTB for debrief.
I'll be back.
Alright.
Like